Hi everyone, what's up? Welcome to another week in my life. Today is a Monday after Thanksgiving and just like long holidays and just not being at my desk. So what I'm doing today is I'm getting back on track with everything. So it's sort of like a big admin day. So I've divided my day into two splits. One of them is my content stuff, and then the other like half of the day I'm working on book stuff that I have to do. So today I filmed an intro for a keto video and I've just been filming for that, which should have already gone up. Yeah, it would have already gone up on Wednesday. And I also, super exciting, I got my first paid partnership ever. And it's not actually for YouTube, it's for TikTok, which is like still super cool and awesome. Like I have done videos where brands have sent me their products and I just kind of talk about it in the video, but never a paid partnership. So I'm really excited about that. And it's kind of like sort of a milestone for me that I didn't actually think would happen on TikTok like before it happened on YouTube, because I focus most of my efforts on YouTube. But either way, it's really exciting and I'm super grateful. Because that brand reached out to me, they sent me their influencer deck. So it's really interesting because I've worked on creating influencer decks, but I've never actually received one like for a paid partnership. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about what that entails, because I know that as you guys like start going into your PR careers, influencer marketing is going to be a huge thing, and it's probably going to be incorporated into your role as a public relations professional. And so I want to talk about like what that is. So basically an influencer deck is when a brand sends you like the overall overview of what their product is about. So maybe the first page will have their logo and like what the product is, and the second page will have a background of the product, and then the third page will have like talking points, like things that you can talk about, you know, whatever special qualities that product has. And then maybe sometimes they'll give you like some examples of the way that other content creators have created content in the past. And so you can look at that too, and like what other people have done. Then there's a section for like what not to do, what not to say, and what to include in your post, because you obviously have to be very clear that it is a sponsored post. So it's actually pretty simple, and some brands send short, like really short ones, some brands send longer ones. When I was working on the PR side of like sending influencers the influencer deck, I would create pretty short ones, like I would say 5 pages, and basically had product info, whatever special deal it was that we were launching at the moment, the talking points, like things that we wanted them to say about the product, obviously not like telling them what to say, but giving them an idea of how they can guide the conversation. That's something that you're gonna do if you don't already do it. Unfortunately, I can't really show you any sponsorship deck that I have received, but because it's confidential. But if I find any like on Pinterest or any kind of templates, I'll put it up on the screen while I'm talking, just so you can see it and so you can have a better idea. But if you do have any other questions, let me know so I can answer them. So for the rest of the day, I'll be working on creating TikTok videos and then following up with everybody in the book. I didn't want to follow up, like I have a lot of people that I kind of have to follow up with, that either I need to do the interview or I need them to send me their images or send me something. And so I have to do that, and that's going to take a bit. And but I'm not really doing any writing today, but like also what I am doing is like a really important part of the book completion process. So that's going to be like a huge thing today. You guys, whenever I see that someone wrote about a book or a book list or something like that, I like email it to myself or save it, and then I add this person to like my book list. So I'll add this name in the email to the distribution list to tell them about the book once it's published. So that's just something that I'm always doing, so that I have like a solid list once it is published. Darling, you send me up a little bit late today, so I was gonna work out in the morning, but I think I'm gonna work out at night. I just have, first things first, like I need to do a lot of book stuff. This week I'm supposed to have 50% of the book written, so I need to do that and like not do anything else like aside from that. I'm making a late lunch. I haven't really recorded much today because I've just been sitting down and writing, and like I know like it's repetitive. But later on today, I'm gonna speak to my friend Margie, who started her own brand during COVID. My first PR job was actually alongside Margie, so we had like our first PR jobs together, and we worked together for like a year or so. So that's how I know her. So I've like ever since then we've just kept in touch and have been friends. And she went off to work for another company, and now she started her her like own product. So we're gonna talk about that, and it should be really cool for you guys to learn about it because she just got her product in Forbes, which is amazing. This somehow works a lot better.
So when a few months after COVID started, when my husband and I were finally somewhat ready to leave the house and go out for our first meal, we got to the restaurant and we sat at our table outdoors, and the whole time I was feeling freaked out. And we sit at our table and I noticed that the silverware is already set on the table, and a rush of like anxiety came through me. Like, how do I know that this was sanitized? How do I know that the people who have walked by without a mask haven't, sneezed and the germs got on there? I was actually very freaked out. We proceeded to enjoy our meal, and when we left the restaurant, a lot of people had been taking out their meals. So everyone was leaving, their plastic cutlery on the ground. And that's when I thought of a very compact cutlery case that you can really take with you anywhere. That's compact, but also good for the environment. And I had this idea in my mind for months. And one day I finally, shared it with Natalie, one of my best friends. And, me thinking that it was just like, oh, I came up with this really great idea. And she loved it so much that she fully ran with it. She, from reaching out to the manufacturers and creating the branding, she created the website, made the Instagram, really from from an idea in my head, she made it come to life.
Yeah, that's awesome. So she took care of all the brandings and everything else, and then you're doing the PR, right?
Yeah, so she's been handling all the branding and the social, and I've been doing PR.
And how have you been doing that?
All the great opportunities that we have gotten so far actually came from a Facebook group that I'm a part of called the PR and Media Czars group. And I posted about Namar on that group, and the feedback was incredible. I mean, I had reporters, asking for my emails to receive more information. I had publicists from other brands who, wanted to know more in case there was synergy with their clients. So all the press that we have gotten so far has really just been from my post on that group. And it kind of goes to show you what public relation really means, right? It's like being part of a community and creating relationships, and those are the relationships that are really going to bring you opportunities.
Yeah. And so that post, basically what you talked about was the product and the backstory, and then you have people be like, send me more information. And that's where you got the Forbes opportunity came from?
Yeah. So a couple of, I think, two contributors from Forbes saw the post, and so far we have been on 2 different Forbes gift guides.
So cool.
Yeah, it's been really great. And also a reporter from Vegetarian Times, and that gift guide just came out as well. So it's been great.
That's awesome. These journalists you're talking to are mostly contributors to these publications, but they also contribute to other publications, right? So there's just chance that they might pick up that story for another publication.
Yeah, they're freelancers. So
right, because sometimes I think that's better than even I'm not better, but that is another good angle to approach pitching, like pitching freelancers who contribute to different publications, because then you have a chance to get your product in these different publications versus just pitching one editor.
Yeah, definitely.
And how do you feel as a mom? How is your whole mom PR life going?
So I'm exhausted, but I wouldn't change anything in my life right now. I mean, I also have a full-time job, so I'm the director of media relations, and Namar has kind of, I don't want to say side hustle because it's not really a side hustle. It's a really amazing project that I'm doing on the side. But I do have a full-time job. I am working on Namar nights and weekends, and I'm also being a mom and a wife, and working from home. So every day it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home, cleaning, changing diapers, putting to sleep.
It sounds exhausting.
So balancing everything is definitely not easy, but I wouldn't change it.
Guys, I'm on my way to do my eyebrows because they look bad. Yesterday, I know we talked to Margie, and I'm sorry that it had to be recorded that way. We tried doing it different ways, but they didn't work. Like, we were having technical difficulties, and I also didn't want to take up too much of her time because we were like there for a while, and I just like couldn't figure out a way to record the video plus the audio at the same time, so we just like did it that way. But hopefully you got the information, like you got good information from her. The SARS group that she was talking about is this Facebook group that is just for like industry people, so it's just for journalists and publicists, and you have to like invite somebody to be on it. So like it's not an open group, it's a private group, but there's a lot of like national publicists and journalists on there. So whenever like a journalist is working on a story, they'll post like, I'm working on this, send me your clients, or send me what you have, or pitch me. Or vice versa, if like a publicist needs a partnership, a brand partnership with somebody or something like that, like they'll post it on there. So what Margie did was post about Namar, and that's where she got all of her opportunities from. When I was first writing my book or like doing research for who I was going to feature, I put a search on there, and I actually got so many responses from people who wanted to like submit their clients or submit friends that they had or whatever, and that's where I got like a huge bulk of the people that I'm featuring in the book. So the role of like connections and relationships has been so helpful in helping me create the book, as well as like in my PR career, and they go hand in hand. So like if you ever want to start off in PR and then want to move on, like don't think that any of that experience or any connections that you made was like for nothing, because that's always going to be helpful in your career. I know you send me, darling. Hi, I'm back home. I'm like so tired from today. I feel like I've just been, I haven't really done like a lot of moving around, but I went to get my eyebrows done, and then after that I went to another place to have lunch. And then after that, I went to the coffee shop and like worked there. Now I'm gonna go to my friend's house. She's cooking dinner for us. So yeah, I'll record it. So here we have the rack of ribs that I thought was a joke, but here it is. I'm actually excited. They're gonna fall off the bone per the recipe. People invite me over to eat. It's 11 and the food still isn't ready. It's my world famous barbecue ribs.